So we know a good amount of things about Rebirth of Souls now, and we know that the game is roughly going to release in about 70 to 80 days, and I'm not the best at math, but the game is coming soon. And I just want to talk about a few things, a few concerns, and a few things that I think are some key points that are going to, determine how successful this game is, or maybe not successful, but how enjoyable this game might be for some people in the future, and some things I noticed from the demo. Now keep in mind, this isn't a video meant to be negative or meant to crap on the game, because I played the game at Jump Festa, and I love the game. I'm excited for this game. I'm pre-ordering the best version of this game. I'm definitely going to be playing this. Whether people enjoy it or not, I am going to be on this game. So don't think I'm a person that don't like this game or doesn't want to play this game. That is not the case. But we're going to be talking about some things, some key points, and I've been wanting y'all's feedback in the comments, man. So let me know how y'all feel about some of these things I'm going to be talking about. But today's anime question is going to be, what was the most surprising character reveal for you so far in this game? Let me know in the comments. And if you want to see more anime game content like this, make sure to join the Discord pinned in the description. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe, turn the bell, do all those nice things so you can see more Bleach and just anime content in general. And let's go ahead and hop straight into this video. Okay, so we talk about some things. I have like 6 things I'm probably going to talk about. 3 of them are for me, and 3 of them are some of the things that I've seen actually from my community. And the first thing is going to be combo breakers. I don't think there's a lot of different combo breakers in Bleach Rebirth of Souls, which doesn't seem like an issue now, but it could be an issue depending on how people play whenever they get this game. If they start finding exploits to extend combos and run into infinites and really delete your health bars, not having the resources to break combos can be very annoying. And what I mean by this is the only combo breaker that we have in the game currently is the reverse meter and using the blue activation. And I had some people, try to talk about it in the comments, but I played the demo and I saw the description. You can manipulate the activation a little bit, but not really. It kind of just goes off of how the game is going to actually activate it. It says it goes off of the evolution of the match. So just because you're mid combo and you activate your reverse doesn't mean that you're just going to necessarily get the yellow to extend it. You might get the white to get the damage boost. So just saying that that just because you're in mid combo getting attacked, that if you activate reverse you're going to get blue. We think that now, but for what we've seen, it hasn't worked that way, and sometimes you get the activation that you're not wanting, and I think that'll be very frustrating, especially if you're trying to get away from a combo or break something. And also the fact that doesn't seem like you can just toggle this on and off. It seems like once you activate reverse, it's going to go into your full meter drain, so that means you're going to be using your full meter just to activate that blue to break one combo, which isn't an issue if there's not really much infinites and there's a lot of different ways for you to get out of combos, or maybe prevent these long combo streams from happening. From what I've seen from this game, it doesn't seem like there's like a lot of like automatic dropouts where there's a number counter where eventually the combo just automatically drops. I feel like a lot of the times when the combos end in this game, it's because the other player recovers and blocks. This game does seem like it allows you to block very fast and allows you to recover your guard very fast, which is a good thing, even though they do have a decent amount of blowbacks from the key cone moves. But we see these things in a lot of anime games like Demon Slayer. They have like the switching out, and they also just have the assist. In Sparking Zero, we have the revenge counter, we have super counter, we also have vanishing. In Storm Connections, we had substitutions and all these other things. Another game that didn't really have much combo breakers was Jujutsu Kaisen Curse Clash, and that was one of the reasons why a lot of people didn't like it, because they were just sitting there watching themselves get put into combos with no way to get out of it. And I don't think this is going to be the case with Bleach Rebirth of Souls, because we do have the reverse meter. I think it just depends on what type of combos we're going to be seeing whenever people get their hands on this game and when they actually start sweating, because a lot of times, yes, some of these games do have technical difficulties and a lot of technical issues, but a lot of the times you start not having fun whenever you're playing in a competitive atmosphere and you're playing up against people that are trying to win no matter what. Once those people get their hands on the game, we'll actually get to see what these combos are actually going to look like, and if it's going to be annoying only having your reverse meter. From what we know so far, we could see some other things in maybe an advanced tutorial, but so far the only combo breaker is the reverse meter. And do y'all think that's a good thing, or do you think that's not a good thing? The next point is going to be spammability, and this is going to count for signature moves and also keycone moves. Of course, we've talked about it, signature moves, being able to spam signature moves. Like I said, this also just depends on the player base, but some of these characters have ranged signature moves and you can just spam this. There's no meter, there's no resource, you can use it as much as you want. Now, of course, there are different animations, and some of them can't spam it as fast, and some of them also have drawbacks, like Ukiura losing his ratio whenever he uses it. But I do wonder how this is going to make the online atmosphere of the game, depending on how much characters are actually like spamming and how players are actually playing. This could be very annoying, especially if there's not a good way to counter it. Now, they do have flash step, which is going to allow you to, you know, get close to the opponent and maybe prevent them from zoning you, but we're going to talk about that later on, which might be something that maybe nullifies the flash step. And of course, I told you the Keycone moves are absolutely spammable. You can use the R2 to blow them back as many times as you want. Now, it is guardable, but you can use this whenever you want. And so far what we've seen, as long as your health bar is still white, you should be able to recover, and you have to block. If you don't block, the Keycone move, the Soul Destruction, is still going to land. But as long as you block, you'll be able to get that clash set animation and you won't have any issues. But if you're in the red, it kind of seems like it's automatic unless your opponent is late on activating it. Kind of seems like if you're in the red, you're automatically getting hit with that Keycone move because you're not going to be able to recover quick enough, and your soul is going to get destroyed. And I kind of wonder how players are going to feel about that, oh, my health's in the red, if I just automatically get hit with some Keycone move, I'm automatically going to get hit with a Soul Destruction because I'm not going to recover. Is there going to be another button that's going to allow you to recover faster even when you're in the red, or is it kind of just once you're in the red, you're just screwed? Let me know in the comments how I actually feel about that. Are you going to be happy with as soon as your health gets in the red, you're pretty much done if you get hit with a Keycone move? And I'm also curious if these things are only confirmed whenever it's in the red. Of course, it seems like it now because some of the players that we're seeing playing it aren't really trying to exploit the game. But if people get their hands on this game and they start finding ways to actually get these Keycone moves off consistently while your health is still in the white, that can very much be an issue, especially if people are recovering and they're still finding a way to hit you before you can get that guard up. That's going to be really annoying. The third thing, and my last thing for me personally, is going to be unique interactions. I talked about this whenever I was actually talking about the demo. When I played the game, there's not really much unique interactions. It was pretty much the same intro and outro regardless of who was fighting, besides, you know, getting that unique interaction that you see between Ukiura and Ichigo whenever Ukiura is doing his final Soul Destruction move and he holds him up and he hits him with a point blank Zero. And, you know, you don't really need to compare this to other games. For some people, they don't really care about the unique interactions, and maybe, you know, we feel a little bit babied from seeing Sparking Zero and seeing, even though they had a whole lot of duplicate characters, even to this day when I'm playing ranked, I still see a lot of interactions that I haven't seen before between characters. But for some people, that's not really that important, and I'm curious how y'all actually feel about the unique interactions. I do feel like unique interactions add more immersion to the game, and it keeps you know interested and keeps you excited to maybe see how some characters are going to interact with each other. And I do think some of them should have some unique dialogue, and there are of course chances that they can still add this stuff into the game. I did only play a demo build, so they could be maybe adjusting some things and adding some more voice lines, but let me know in the comments if this actually releases how it is and there's not much unique interaction, how much does that, you know, take away from your actual experience of playing the game? And now we get into some of the things that I, you know, saw from my community. One of the things that I saw one of my supporters commenting about that, you know, he wasn't happy about is that he felt like the gameplay was a little bit repetitive, where it felt like mainly you're blocking, sidestepping, blocking, sidestepping, waiting for the opening to then go into your combos and use the Keycone move. He said, you know, since this is Bleach, he expected to see more parries and stuff like that. And, you know, I can understand him saying that, you know, he wanted to see parries in a sword fighting game. And, you know, even though Bleach isn't just so focused only on sword fighting, there's a lot of abilities and different releases and stuff like that. And we see parries in some of these games that we've been playing. Like, you know, they have their own versions of a parry. Of course, like Perception in Sparking Zero is a little bit like a parry. We also have it in Jujutsu Kaisen. There's also in Demon Slayer. We have these aspects. And do you think Bleach Rebirth of Souls needs a parry? And we don't know if it for sure doesn't have it. Of course, we didn't see it on the controls, but there could be an advanced tutorial that maybe shows this. But how would you feel about Bleach Rebirth of Souls releasing without an actual unique parry? And also some of the unique clashes. We see so many different clash animations in Sparking Zero, all these cool cinematics, but do you actually care about seeing these crazy cinematics? Or just the evolutions whenever they're going through their bankais? Is that enough for you? And also the class animation that we get whenever you see a failed Keycone move. Are things fine the way they are? Or would you have actually preferred, you know, seeing some more unique clashes and maybe some different parries and stuff like that? Some things to maybe increase the skill gap between the really great characters and the really great players, and, you know, maybe the players are just playing casually. You might not be able to pull this off, but it can be very rewarding if you're really good and you do know how to pull off these cool parries or these cool clashes. And the next thing is going to be omnidirectional blocking. Now, some people, you know, this is probably something that a lot of people feel differently about. And basically what I mean by omnidirectional blocking is you're going to be able to block no matter what direction you're aiming in this game. If you're blocking from the front, the left, the right, the back, it doesn't matter. You're going to block their attack as long as it's unguardable. And I do think this maybe lowers the skill gap and makes it a little bit easier for most players to be able to just pick it up and play, which I think is a good thing to have your game enjoyable. But let me know, how do y'all actually feel about this? Do you think this hurts the game in a little bit? Does it make one feature that I think is, you know, very important to this game a little bit less useful? And you're supposed to be able to use your flash step, and it's supposed to allow you to extend combos, move around, or also get behind your opponent. But what is the point in getting behind your opponent if you're not going to be able to start the combo if they're blocking? Now, of course, you could go from a flash step into a guard break, but the guard break does have a longer animation. But how much do you actually think omnidirectional takes away the usefulness of flash step in BLEACH Rebirth of Souls? Let me know in the comments. And the last thing we're going to be talking about is just the online atmosphere. And this isn't really a concern. It's more so just hopefully everything goes right, and hopefully they get things right with all the features that we need. We've seen from these past few games they've missed on some very big features that are very good for online. And considering this one is actually, you know, being done by Tamsoft, hopefully we get to see something different, and hopefully Bandai gets it completely right with the launch and with the online, meaning we have things like custom lobbies, a ranked mode, and also a casual mode if you just want to load up and just do casual matches without having to get into a lobby like what you have from Sparking Zero. And also quitting penalties. We have to have quitting penalties because these matches aren't just going to be extremely short. They're going to be longer than, you know, your one-on-one matches that you get in Sparking Zero, because you have to take off all these different konpaku. So if you're getting to like the end of the match and somebody quits and you don't get your points, that is going to be extremely annoying and extremely infuriating. So they have to have quitting penalties. Find some way to implement that. But as long as all these things are going right with the online atmosphere, I have a lot of confidence in the story from what we've seen. We've seen a lot of cutscenes and a lot of things being animated. We'll get more information about that this week whenever we actually get to see Morita play. Maybe the video is already posted by the time you're seeing this, but hopefully we don't get to see that many, you know, slideshows and stuff like that. But I think Bleach is going to get it right with the story mode, and we're going to get something very nice, pretty similar to what we got with the Naruto Storm Connections, the original story. I also thought that was a very good story, so hopefully we get some very good animation and some good cutscenes and not just the cardboard stuff and all that. But let me know how I actually felt about some of these things that I touched on and some of these things I talked about that I think, you know, are some things that can very much affect how much people enjoy this game when it actually releases. Now, of course, hey, I only played like 30 minutes worth of a demo and gameplay, so there's a lot of things that could go a lot different with this game. But me personally, I do think this game will be successful. I think it will be enjoyable, but I think a lot of these things come from how the online atmosphere and how the online player base takes this game and what they turn it into. So let me know in the comments how y'all actually felt about some of these points that I talked about and how you just been feeling about the game in general. Are you satisfied with the direction it's going and also the marketing of Bandai and how they're doing things? I know a lot of people have been asking for, like, you know, an open beta and open demos. I don't see those type of things happening. I only see them doing another demo if there's like another gaming event or something like that where, you know, they can make it, you know, open to the public. But as far as putting it online, I don't see that happening. But let me know in the comments how y'all enjoyed this video and how excited you are for the game. I'll definitely be pre-ordering it, man. But hope y'all enjoyed this. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe, and I'm going to see y'all in the next one, man. We up.